More than 2 million emergency calls are made every year in Victoria.
You're not going to die, mate. You're not going to die.
Well done.
One call every 12 seconds.
Securing the survivor.
On the front line,
You're with the ambulance. We've got ya.
paramedics work around the clock,
You're being very, very brave.
fighting to save lives.
Pass me your hand. It's okay.
Cameras capture unguarded moments
Doing a good job, buddy.
of compassion
Hello, look where you are.
Is that better? Yeah.
and laughter.
We got it.
This is not a catastrophe.
It's all part of the daily lives
Congratulations!
of these emergency service heroes.
It's Emily, love. I'll look after you, I promise.
On this episode of Paramedics, Wayne's heart is beating out of control.
All right. A normal heart rate is 60 to 100 beats a minute. His is going at 200 to 220, so he's critically unwell.
We'll look after you.
I can't believe I did this. I wasn't even going fast.
A thrill-seeker mum is in serious trouble after a terrifying motorbike accident.
To go through a crash like this must have been incredibly scary. She'll be wondering, am I going to be able to walk again?
And the ultimate trauma as a little boy is hit by a car.
It's every parent's worst nightmare to see their kids injured. You'd never get it out of your mind for the rest of your life.
You're being very, very brave.
Emergency services, tell me exactly what happened.
We've got a little boy who's just been hit by a car.
How old is he? 6 years old.
It's for a car that's pedestrian code.
Response 99, receive details.
Single responder Cullen is on his way, code 1, to the 6-year-old patient.
These sort of cases are always challenging. If the child is critically injured, we often have to calm down parents and other bystanders, but we've got to sort of prepare for the worst, really, and hope for the best.
Cullen will be backing another ambulance, which is just seconds ahead of him.
I don't know yet whether the patient has been hit front on, side on, or whether they've actually gone over the top of the car and fallen onto the road, which means they sometimes have multiple impacts. And those injuries can be life-threatening and certainly life-changing.
I'm Cullen, Micro Response 99.
As I arrive, I get a sense of dread. There's a big crowd of people standing around the patient on the ground. I don't know what we're going to see, and I don't know how injured this child's going to be.
So, how long do you think we've worked together for?
I think it's like 6 months in total.
It's gone pretty fast, I think.
You think?
Oh.
It has been good. We've had a lot of fun.
Also on the night shift are mobile intensive care paramedics Simon and Michaela. They've only been on the road together for a short time, but they first met 2.5 years ago when Simon mentored Michaela through her final MICA exams.
It's so easy every day coming to work, knowing that you get to come to work with a friend. I like that we can have a joke and have a laugh, but then at a case, when we need to switch it on, we're both able to do that. We complement each other really well.
I've always said this job is only as good as the person you're working with, and I really like this job when I'm working with you.
Oh.
Apart from when you're bossing me around. I'm really proud of Michaela. She's like the little sister that I never had. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and you know exactly what she's thinking at all times because she tells you.
Emergency services, tell me exactly what's happened.
I've got a heart pacemaker and I'm getting a shock from it. I'm getting an anxiety attack because of that.
Okay, let's get you some help, all right?
We are going to a 50-year-old male who has chest pain and states here that his pacemaker is going off.
So most likely he's got VT.
VT, also known as ventricular tachycardia, is an abnormally fast heart rhythm. It means that the heart isn't operating properly and it's not pumping blood around the body as it should be.
Clear a dealer.
The danger with that is these patients can then become unconscious, go into cardiac arrest, or worst case scenario, die.
Oh, it's going to get me again. I know it's coming, the shock.
Okay, it's all right. You're doing really well, okay?
Ah, got me again.
Oh, it's got you again. Poor thing.
I'm trying to relax, but I can't.
The man's internal defibrillator is firing an electrical current to try to reset his heart. But there's no guarantee that it will continue to work.
Just here. We don't want this patient to be in this type of rhythm for a really long period of time. So it's really important to start the management that the patient needs. Hello? Ambulance? Hello? What's your name? Wayne, my name's Michaela and this is Simon. What's been happening?
My heart beats really quick, and when it beats really quick, I get that shock from the pacemaker. Yeah, and I'm trying to relax, but I can't. It just spins me out.
You're okay. We'll look after you.
And what time did the shock start tonight?
Oh, a couple of hours ago.
Okay. We're just going to put the monitoring on your chest to have a look what your heart's doing. When's the last time the shock went off? Was it a couple minutes ago? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's okay. It's all right.
Wayne looks pale, he looks sweaty, and he's probably had 30 or 40 shocks from his defibrillator. So he's critically unwell.
Oh, I can't do it anymore.
It's okay. It's all right.
G'day, mate. How you going? What's this champ's name?
Harold.
Yep.
Harold's been crossing the road from behind a parked car.
Yep.
When he's walked into a car that's been passing.
Okay.
He's got some pain to his right arm here.
Yep.
He's got a little bit of pain in his head.
All right.
6-year-old Harold has just been hit by a car. Micah paramedic Cullen is worried the young patient could be in serious trouble.
Anyone else saw the car hit him?
Yeah.
Yep.
He has hit the car at 60 k's an hour.
Based on the speed that the bystanders are saying?
Yeah.
A car travelling at 60 kilometres an hour is a really high mechanism of injury for a young child. So Harold's incredibly lucky that the impact didn't kill him instantly. But given how fast the car was travelling when Harold was hit, there's a really good chance that he's got a head injury and he might have internal injuries or spinal injuries.
Where's Dad? Yeah. Just come around and reassure him, mate.
Okay, huh?
Dad David is struggling to comprehend what's just happened.
I looked up and heard some screams and I saw that Harold was laying on the ground. You don't want to see that ever, to see your child helpless, your heart just bleeds.
What we'll do, we'll come around and we'll get the collar on.
Cullen urgently wants to move Harold to the ambulance for further investigation, but spinal precautions are needed.
Can you see this? This is just going to support your neck. It's not going to hurt you, OK? It's just to keep your head nice and still, all right? You're being very, very brave.
We need to put a collar on Harold's neck to keep him still and prevent any further injury until he gets spinally cleared by a doctor at hospital.
Good boy, mate. That's it.
But I'm really worried about Harold. He's crying and he's really upset and distressed.
OK, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
All the revellers are out on the town. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this place was packed before.
In the city, Mike and Eamon are waiting for their first job to come through.
Now gets to go out. Except us, because we're at work. Well, you know, I'm okay with that. My notes on the town are behind me.
Big news, Eamon and I, we are bachelors no more. We've got ourselves a couple of amazing girlfriends.
How is Bianca going? Well?
Yeah, she's good, mate.
Bianca's an ambo too, isn't she?
Yeah, mate, up in the country. So I met Bianca at an ambulance station, and while sitting next to her on the couch, I found her on Tinder. And then I swiped right on her, but she didn't swipe right on me. It was very awkward. But I managed to smooth talk my way to a very romantic Macca's meal break, and that's when I knew I was in.
Eamon's girlfriend Renee is also a paramedic. Their love story started on the job, but was a bit of a slower burn.
We met in the hallways of a hospital.
You're kidding.
Yep.
You went after her?
Yeah. But she actually told me she thought I was a bit of a tosser when she first met me.
She still feels that way, or?
Yeah, but she's just learned to tolerate it.
She's learned to
tolerate it, yeah.
Renee's unreal. She's a strong woman. She's driven and smart. She's such a good dog mum to Walter. She ticks all the boxes. I have no idea what she's doing with me, but hey, I'll take it.
Ambulance United case in South Bank has come through for a pedestrian first class.
139, roger. Carver's pedestrian's not good.
No, not a lot of protection when you're a pedestrian.
Nah, it's like head, chest, pelvis all gets slammed.
Yep.
As we're heading to this job, I'm preparing for the worst. It's metal versus flesh. That is serious, serious injuries. In the city, it might be multiple cars has hit him. So it's not good. All clear left, green light to go. I reckon that's probably our patient. Oh yeah, there's a couple of police units here. We've got a bike here.
Oh, not the Uber Eats.
As we arrive, we see that this guy's actually not a pedestrian. He's been riding a food delivery bike. I get a bit more worried because he's now been travelling at speed when he's been hit. So the forces involved are going to be much greater. Hello. Okay, don't go too far for us. All right, take it easy. Sit down. He could be in a world of hurt. Easy, easy, Tiger.
Harold, I want you to tell me where it hurts. What worries you the most, champ?
The brain.
Okay.
6-year-old Harold has just been hit by a car.
He's got a few abrasions there.
Intensive care paramedic Cullen is urgently trying to find out if his little patient has any life-threatening injuries.
Is it painful in there, mate? No? That's good. You're being very brave.
A 6-year-old has the potential to be injured quite severely when hit by a car travelling at 60 kilometres an hour. So I'm looking for head injuries, chest injuries, abdominal injuries, and potentially some broken bones in his lower limbs.
Where does it hurt?
Details here. He's normally well. He's got no medication.
Is it a small, medium or large pain, Harold? Large pain. All right.
Harold's dad, David, is anxiously waiting outside for an update on his son's condition.
Any pain down your legs here?
Harold is very precious. He's the second youngest of 9 children.
Where's it hurt? Low down or up top? On the side.
He's a very happy boy. He's very creative, and he's treasured very much by his brothers and sisters. They all love him very much.
Any pain when you breathe? No? All right. Chest is clear.
While there's no obvious signs of major injuries or internal bleeding, Cullen can't rule out a head injury or spinal damage.
Right, we're going to keep you snug as a bug in a rug, OK? Just so you don't move.
It must be terrifying for Harold. He's looking around and he doesn't know exactly what's going on. He's got all these strangers fussing over him. But we're trying to reassure him and make him realise that we're here to help him and make him feel better.
Is that pain still a large pain that you've got? We're going to give you a spray up the nose for that, all right?
To help get Harold's severe pain under control, Cullen is giving him fentanyl.
A little bit here in one, and then another one in the other. All right. Here's Dad.
You okay? Huh? You still hurting?
Mate, I'm right to start moving.
I've loaded you on a 1 trauma, mate.
All right. So I've reduced Harold's pain, but now I need to get him to hospital. I don't have X-ray vision, and Harold definitely could still have injuries that I can't see.
My partner Eamon's just going to pop a blood pressure cuff on you and stuff. I'm going to have a quick look here.
In the city, Mike and Eamon have been called to help a food delivery rider who's reportedly been hit by a car.
That's your helmet there? Yeah. Haven't hit your head at all?
No.
Nah, awesome. You remember everything happening?
Yeah, I just fell off.
You fell off?
Yeah.
You weren't hit by a car or anything?
Not hit, but closely, like was going very fast.
So you've moved to avoid it and you've come off your bike? Yeah. Any pain?
My knee's just
the knee.
Pop up like that.
All right. So the good news is he hasn't been hit by the car, but one came close to him, causing him to swerve and fall off his bike, and that's how he's hurt his leg. I'm just going to move the knee a bit. Yeah, the patella feels central, which is good. I can't feel any obvious break in there, but that does feel a bit unusual. Having a feel of his leg, his kneecap feels like it's in the right spot. Neither of the major bones in his leg feel broken, but there's just something not quite right.
It more looks like a ligament issue.
I reckon he's done his ACL or his MCL. Injuries like this put elite sports people out of action for months. So for someone like Gaetan, this could have massive ramifications on his life and potential to earn an income. So it is important that Gaetan gets to a hospital as soon as possible.
So we can take you in the ambulance. My only concern for that is you're obviously a tourist here. Where are you from?
Belgium.
You're from Belgium. OK, so it will cost you probably about $1,000 to come in the ambulance.
What?
Yeah. Do you have ambulance cover or travel insurance or anything like that? No. So there's a bit of a complication. This guy's actually visiting from Belgium, which means that if he comes in the ambulance with us, he's going to be out of pocket.
If this was a life-threatening situation, Mike and Eamon would deliver Gaetan to hospital, regardless of whether he could pay. But tonight, another option will have to be worked out.
I know that he needs to go to hospital tonight, but I also know that he can't afford a $1,200 bill. I really need to figure out what we're going to do.
It's okay. It's all right.
50-year-old Wayne's heart is beating out of control in a potentially lethal rhythm known as ventricular tachycardia.
I'm trying to relax.
I know.
His internal defibrillator is trying to shock his heart into a normal rhythm. But Micah paramedics Simon and Michaela are worried it's not working.
A normal heart rate is 60 to 100 beats a minute. His is going at 200 to 220. So our priority with Wayne is to get some medication into him to stabilise his heart rhythm, to get him out of this immediate life threat.
Simon's going to draw up a drug for me that's going to stop you from getting shocked again, OK?
Oh, thank you.
The team will now try to administer amiodarone intravenously. But until the medicine takes effect, Wayne's defibrillator will continue to fire.
Could you hurry that up, please?
It's extremely difficult seeing someone in this much pain. Some patients liken it to being kicked in the chest by a horse. It looks so painful. OK, relax your hand for me, Wayne.
You're doing really well, buddy. Okay.
No, I can't.
But Michaela is struggling to find a vein to give the medication.
I think we're going to have to try your foot.
Oh, just somewhere, anywhere, please.
Yeah.
Just stop the skid going off.
I'm watching the monitor and I can see that Wayne's heart is going from a normal rhythm back into the VT and it's getting to that close number of 180 to 200.
Wayne, pass me your hand.
It's going to go off again, just so you know. It's going fast again.
Oh.
Okay, you're all right. You're okay.
I just got to get this blood pressure.
I'll just have a look at his neck.
With no viable veins in Wayne's legs and the 50-year-old becoming increasingly distressed, Simon will be forced to put a needle in Wayne's neck.
So just relax in the shoulder, you're okay. Calm down, make this as easy as you can for me, okay?
Inserting an IV into the neck vein can be incredibly high risk, but it's critical that I get it in.
Just relax your breathing. Just be nice and still, though, and I'll just get this done, mate.
I think it's important that you get seen by a doctor and have an X-ray. Probably tonight is best.
In the city, food delivery rider Gaetan has fallen off his bike after a dangerously close call with a passing car. Mike and Eamon suspect the Belgian has serious ligament damage to his leg. But without ambulance cover or travel insurance, the trip to the emergency department will be very expensive.
Have you had an ambulance before?
No.
So you've got reciprocal rights for the hospital, but just not for ambulance cover. Jobs like this are quite difficult because I know the patient needs to go to hospital, but at the same time, I don't want to see him stung with a big bill that he really can't afford. Is there someone we can call to take you to hospital? Can a friend come and get you?
Oh, no.
No. If the police are able to organise your bike, will you get a taxi to the hospital for me? Is that all right?
Yeah, but...
Good man. All right.
Okay, taxi's booked.
Lovely. I've just written a little note for the hospital because they will ask you things like, have you hit your head? Are you bleeding? All that sort of stuff.
With the cab now on scene, the boys can get Gaetan on his way to the nearby trauma centre.
All right, my friend. Take... no, we'll get that, mate.
Oh,
Easy, easy, Tiger. Yeah, see, this is why you need to go to hospital.
Can you do me a favour? When you get there, ask them to bring a wheelchair out. Appreciate it, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate. Look after yourself.
You're a good man. I hope this guy isn't too seriously injured, but my gut tells me he's got a long road ahead of him. He might need surgery, he might need rehab, he might not work for weeks.
Did you see? He was delivering the ice cream to that young couple.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. He called him and he said, hey, I'm out the front. Also, I think I've been hit by a car. Don't worry, they got the ice cream.
What a good bloke.
Yeah.
You got to give him a tip for that.
100%.
Dad's here, mate. He just seems to have grazes and abrasions all over him, on his tummy, on his chest, on his elbows.
6-year-old Harold has just been hit by a car. Micah paramedic Cullen is now racing the little boy and his dad David to the Royal Children's Hospital.
He'll be a little bit sleepy with fentanyl. I'm really happy the way that's working. It's calmed him down.
Urgent scans are needed to confirm just how much damage has been done.
Can you describe to me what you saw when the car hit him?
The car hit with him stopped and another car came hurtling down the road.
As he was getting out of a passenger door?
He ran into the side of the car that was driving.
And fell onto the road?
He was pulled up onto the road.
Harold's been a lucky boy tonight.
Going for that. Been doing this long?
20 years.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I love it, mate. It's the best job in the world.
It's a bit of a challenge this last year, Brett.
It has been.
COVID has been challenging, it's been crazy, it's been exhausting at times, but sitting here with Harold and David and helping them in their time of need is why we do the job.
Just pulling into the Royal Children's Hospital, Harold?
It doesn't matter whether I'm wearing a mask or glasses or PPE. This is the same thing that I signed up to do 20 years ago, and I love doing it.
Is everything okay? No new pain? That's good, mate.
Doctors are standing by to assess Harold. Everyone is hoping that the 6-year-old hasn't suffered major trauma.
Stay nice and still for us.
But Dad David won't be able to relax until his little boy has undergone a full assessment.
His dad just here.
Okay? Yep. Look after me.
Jobs like this make you realise how lucky we are as parents to have healthy kids. I often go home and give them a tighter hug than I normally do and be really appreciative of what we got.
Good boy, mate.
Just relax your breathing, just relax. Just be nice and still, though.
Across town, the pressure is on Micah paramedics Simon and Michaela. They're about to try to administer a medication to revert Wayne's potentially life-threatening heart arrhythmia.
Okay, nice and still.
The drug needs to be injected into a vein in Wayne's neck.
Okay, you're all right. You're okay. Nearly done, nearly done. So sharp out, everyone stand back. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
in,
going
Wayne.
to do some sticky tape and stuff and then we're good. Legend, you really made that easy for us.
Good job, Wayne.
Thank you.
Now that we've got IV access, we can start administering the amiodarone, and this will hopefully stop him from going back into that ventricular tachycardia and keep his heart in a normal rhythm.
So that's running at 100 mils an hour. The amiodarone will be delivered over 30 minutes.
All right.
The medication needs to be given slowly to prevent Wayne's blood pressure dropping dangerously low. But that's little comfort to Wayne right now.
You're going to feel another shock in a second, Wayne, okay? Yep.
Come on, guys, stop it, please.
We just have to be a bit gentle with you, mate.
So if you can keep an eye on that blood pressure for me, and then we'll get him out onto the chair.
All right, 110 systolic.
All right, 110, okay. Heart rate's 116, it's looking more sinus.
With Wayne stable for now, the team need to urgently get the 50-year-old to the ambulance.
I'm just going to protect your neck, Wayne, okay? Because I really hate for that to go out.
It's really important that we get Wayne to hospital as quickly as possible. The amiodarone will start to wear off in 2 hours and he'll need an infusion over the next 24 hours to keep his heart stable.
How are you feeling? Any chest pain there at all? No. Is there anything else we can do for you to make you feel more comfortable?
No. Thank you, guys.
That's okay.
I think the rapport between a paramedic and their patient is huge. If people feel during their worst day that they are cared for and understood, I think it makes all the difference to how their experience goes.
All right.
Okay. You guys have done a fantastic job and I want to thank you all.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Although Wayne's looking good at the moment, we know that this rhythm can change at any time. So just because he's improved for now doesn't mean that he won't deteriorate again. So he's definitely not out of the woods.
I think you did pretty well, Wayne.
Emergency services.
At the Emergency Communications Centre, a panicked call for help is coming through.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
Yeah, there's been 5 motorbikes coming down the mountain. There's been a girl on a motorbike. She's gone over the cliff.
Okay, I'm organising that help for you now.
The woman has crashed and catapulted over a cliff near Mansfield, 150 kilometres northeast of Melbourne. Flight paramedic Ray and the air ambulance crew are now being urgently dispatched from the Essendon airbase.
Thames 5 cleared for takeoff.
And setting the back again.
Motorcyclists represent an enormous concern for all paramedics. They're incredibly vulnerable and they're overrepresented in our stats in terms of both injury and death.
Airborne at time 304.
Local paramedics have now reached the accident site.
Extrication is difficult, but we are working on it.
So confirm the crew's in attendance and we'll have extracted this patient, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, roger.
Obvious left wrist deformity and right hip deformity.
Yeah. Maybe a pelvis and a wrist.
A pelvic injury can be life-threatening because it can cause you to bleed out. Basically, you'll sanguinate, you'll die. So we need to get this patient as quick as we can.
Oh my God, there's a huge indoor plant sale.
Back in the city, it's the start of shift for Marley and her plant-obsessed partner, Taney.
No more pot plants. I'm saving you from your husband yelling at you.
Am I crazy plant lady? Or only ever so slightly? You can never have too many house plants. They're just like my children.
If I had plants, I'd be gone. You've got kids that you keep alive, plants you keep alive. You were just a superwoman.
No, I wouldn't say superwoman.
Taney is incredible. She's a mum of 4. She's a full-time paramedic. She would tell me before our shift that she'd got up at 4 o'clock, made all her kids breakfast, got them all to where they need to be. She had done my day's work in the first few hours of her day, and I really admire that about her. Yeah, she's 1 in a million.
All right, Taney, we've been dispatched to a male face down and not completely alert.
Okay.
A worried member of the public called 000 after seeing the man collapsed in a laneway.
Obviously, we've got to be concerned here about violence if they're drug affected or alcohol affected and waking them up.
Yeah.
On average, a paramedic is assaulted in Victoria every 50 hours.
Going to intoxicated or drug-affected people, that's part of our job. We do it almost every shift. And, you know, most jobs are okay. But you always have in the back of your mind, is today going to be the day that it's not okay?
Hello, how you going?
Hey, how you going?
My name's Marley and I've got Taney. Hello, sir. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you? Sorry, pardon me. I'm just making sure you got a response there. Have you had a bit to drink today?
Yeah.
Yep. How much have you had to drink?
This man appears intoxicated. There are multiple empty bottles around, but we can't judge or can't assume, so we need to make sure there's not medically anything going on that we need to manage.
Are you able to sit up for me?
Pardon. Just go.
Go away.
Go.
Go?
Go.
We're the paramedics. We just want to make sure you're safe.
I give who you are.
Can you sit up and chat with us? And then once we've had a chat, I'm happy to leave. How about that?
Oh, then.
He's told us to go away, yet I'm concerned about his airway. I'm concerned about him vomiting. I'm concerned that he may have had a fall and struck his head and have an injury that we can't see.
Mate, do you want to just sit down?
Oh.
Another paramedic is now on scene and is trying to reason with the man.
We're happy to leave you. Just need to make sure you're safe. We can't leave you in the laneway.
Dog.
Support 213. 56, please.
It's clear that we're not getting through to this man. So we decide to call police for assistance because situations like this can escalate really quickly. 1 minute you're fine and the next minute you're in a world of trouble.
Oh. Are we going to get you home? No. What are you going to do?
Well.
All right, we're just going to retreat for a second.
Oh, it's close.
No, no. Go to the car. Dress, go.
All of a sudden, this man is coming for us. So we hit our duress. We need police backup and we need it now.
Go. Get in. Get in the car.
Oh.
Flight paramedic Ray and the air ambulance team are only minutes away from a seriously injured motorcycle rider who crashed over a cliff in the Victorian high country.
Clear to descend left. Wheels coming down.
A local ambulance crew is already waiting at the meeting point with the patient.
Being a motorcyclist in a high-speed crash, you are a time-critical patient. We're expecting her to have significant injuries, like lung injuries, head injuries, abdominal injuries, and also pelvic injuries. And pelvic injuries will kill you. You will bleed out. So that's an enormous area of concern for us.
Good afternoon.
This
How
is
are you?
Claire.
Hello, Claire. I'm Ray.
Hi, Ray. Claire is 53.
Yeah.
She is a keen motorcyclist.
Yep.
She's riding her Harley Davidson today with a group of friends.
Yep.
She's hit the gravel and the bike's hit a post. She's gone flying probably 25 metres, landing supine. She's wearing full protective gear. She's got her helmet on and dry rider jacket and Kevlar jeans and boots.
Yep. I've ridden a motorbike and I can't possibly imagine what it's like to come off at high speed. Certainly not down an embankment, certainly not when you are literally flying through the air. That would be incredibly scary.
So we've arrived to find some obvious left wrist deformity. Right hip looks like it's inwardly rotated.
Yep.
We've whacked a SAM splint on. Also, very high tib fib deformity.
Yep.
So Claire broke her, what did you break?
Tibia fibia.
Right tib fib 12 weeks ago on a dirt bike.
12 weeks ago?
Yes.
And you're back on?
This was my first ride.
So Claire had an accident on a dirt bike only 3 months ago, and she's just got up and about and she jumped on the bike for the first time today, and now suddenly she's broken a leg in exactly the same spot, and much worse.
All right, Claire, I'm going to do a quick scan of your tummy, then I'll get you over into the helicopter and we'll be off, okay?
We need to do an ultrasound scan to look for internal injuries around her abdominal area. We're looking specifically around her kidneys because that's a high source of bleeding, her liver, her spleen and her pelvis.
I can't believe I did this. I wasn't going fast.
Okay, that part looks good. Pain-wise, how are you going?
I'm fine now.
Okay. Wiggle your toes for me, both sides. Excellent. My only concern with you is your heart rate's rolling a bit fast.
So I know Claire's got a broken wrist and I know she's re-broken that leg, and as concerning as that is, it doesn't actually explain what's going on with things like her heart rate. So I'm worried she's got an internal injury and I can't find it.
Good to go, mate.
Okay.
So it's in the chopper, let's go.
Go to the car. Dress. Go. Get in the truck. Get in the car.
Marley and Taney are being threatened by an aggressive drunk patient. The man started lashing out as they were trying to help him.
This man is saying, I'm gonna smash your face in. So we've pushed our duress and we're running for the ambulance to provide some cover.
I didn't hear it well.
But even once we're in the truck, you know, you feel like, can they get in? Is there a way they can break the window? It's definitely scary.
56 been organised with an urgent request. The guys are promising incoming lights and sirens.
Police backup is now on the way.
Oh, God.
On the street, bystanders are trying their best to calm the man down.
Oh, let's just let him walk away.
Finally, Taney and Marley are safe. But frightening memories are flooding back for Marley.
I was on a job with my colleague and we attended a young male who had chest pains. And while I listened to this patient's chest, they presented a large kitchen knife under my abdomen. It was the first time in my life where I felt in immediate danger, and not just for myself, but for one of my closest friends in the job. It was a really scary incident that, you know, still sticks with me today.
He's cool.
With police now on scene, a shaken Taney and Marley are heading back to their ambulance base.
That was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it? I guess the red flag being the alcohol. He was heavily intoxicated. No, it doesn't matter how intoxicated you are, it is not okay. No. We need to get home safe. I have to get home to my kids. You just cannot become complacent in this job. No. Always got to be on alert.
These jobs do really shake us up. They do really rattle us, but we know that we need to pull ourselves together because we know it's not going to be long before the radio goes off and someone else needs us to be there for them.
It was a close one.
Yeah.
All right, this is not going to tickle. You're on a hard mat, we're going to pick you up and gently put it on our bed, OK?
OK.
In Victoria's high country, Ray is preparing to fly 53-year-old Claire to Melbourne.
Ready, set, lift.
Oh.
The thrill seeker crashed off her Harley, falling 25 metres down a cliff.
Yep, coming in.
It was her first time back on a motorbike after an horrific accident just 3 months ago.
I still think I'm dreaming.
No.
But I'm going to have to stop because I don't want to die.
If it helps you, I'll stop riding too.
I can't do this.
I know people love their bikes, but for me, having 2 little kids now, I'm a bit more reluctant to ride a motorbike.
Good to go, Ray? Good to go, mate.
And I think as you get older, you get to appreciate your mortality for a start, and then your impact on your family if something was to happen.
It will be a 50-minute flight back to Melbourne's Alfred Hospital. Until then, Ray will be closely watching Claire's vital signs.
You got the little mind ray going. It's a panel, that'll be the first leader.
Oh, the leg and the hips are painful.
Okay, all right. What's the pain out of 10?
8.
Yeah.
So our aim with pain management is to get Claire to a manageable level of pain so she can lie still, because we don't want her wiggling around on the stretcher because that'll exacerbate whatever potential spinal injuries in particular or other fractures that she's got.
A couple of big deep breaths. It'll take 30 seconds to a minute to work, OK?
And that's basically a fine line we're going to walk all the way to hospital.
But as the flight continues, Ray suddenly has another problem to deal with.
I don't like this nappy at all. What's the BP? 140. Got no colour issues to look like she's bleeding anywhere, and that day was fine, but I don't like it.
We've got Claire's pain under control, but her heart rate's high. So that's telling us she's compensating for something. It's telling us generally there's a bleed somewhere and your heart's beating a little bit faster to move enough blood around your body.
Fortunately, the Alfred Hospital is only moments away.
We always hope when we send a patient to hospital that it can be the best story it can be. But for Claire, this is just a start.
This just doesn't happen to me. It's just not meant to happen to me.
I hear. The impact of that fracture on Claire's leg must be playing on her mind a lot. She's just been through 12 weeks of rehab. And she could probably tell this fracture feels much nastier. So she'll be wondering, am I going to be able to walk again? You can totally understand she's catastrophising about what could possibly be wrong, because she may have injuries that affect her for years.
You're being very, very brave.
6-year-old Harold was coming home from a day out when he was hit by a car doing 60 kilometres an hour.
Okay, huh?
Dad David was terrified his son could have catastrophic injuries.
Oh, good, Harold.
Amazingly, Harold only suffered abrasions and bruising and was released from hospital 24 hours later to reunite with his 8 siblings.
Oh, good kick, Harold.
It could have been a very different thing right now. It was a matter of seconds and Harold could have been hit front on. So I think the angels were watching him.
Wayne, we're just going to put the monitoring on your chest to have a look what your heart's doing.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's okay.
50-year-old Wayne was screaming for help while being constantly shocked by his internal defibrillator.
Just be nice and still, though.
Simon was forced to put a needle in his neck to get intravenous access and control Wayne's pain.
Wayne, if you go into the rhythm again, make sure you call us.
Okay.
It's really important. If you didn't have the defib, you would have been unconscious.
Wayne was treated in hospital for his ventricular tachycardia. But Simon and Michaela are now hoping he remembers to take his medication to avoid any more agonising episodes.
Wayne was lucky this time, but he may not be so lucky next time.
Easy, easy, Tiger.
Food delivery cyclist Gaetan wrecked his knee when he crashed off his push bike trying to swerve away from a car.
That does feel a bit unusual.
With no ambulance cover, Mike didn't want the tourist to plunge into debt, so arranged a cab to take him to hospital.
Can you do me a favour? When you get there, ask them to bring a wheelchair out.
The 28-year-old had surgery on his damaged ACL, but it will be many weeks before Gaetan is back on his bike and back at work.
Good on you, mate. Look after yourself.
I can't believe I did this. I wasn't even going fast.
Adrenaline junkie Claire crashed off her motorbike, plunging down a cliff.
I'm going to have to stop because I don't want to die.
It was the 53-year-old's first ride since a devastating dirt bike accident left her with a smashed right leg several weeks before. Claire was worried she may never have full use of her leg again. Major surgery was followed by more than 2 months in hospital and rehab.
So how's the leg today?
Oh, it's a bit sore today.
But finally, Claire's now home with partner Pete, recovering from a long list of shocking injuries.
When we got to the hospital, I knew that I was in a bit of trouble. I had severely shattered my knee and my plateau of my tibia. I have completely shattered my left wrist, broken 2 ribs, fractured 3 vertebrae, ruptured my spleen, punctured my lung, broke my sacrum and broke my big toe. So I had a lot of broken bones and a lot of injuries. You ready?
Yeah, you're right.
Despite the major trauma, Claire's remained incredibly positive. But she's had to make one very tough decision.
I feel very sad about not being able to ride again. It's probably the hardest part of the whole journey, really. When you have something that you love and you've got to let it go, there's a grieving process.
Life goes on and continues from here.
Yep, just got to work out what that fun is now, don't we?
Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll get there.
I just need to find something that gives me that sense of freedom and that sense of adventure, because that's what I love. You know, I want to do something that's a bit out there.
He's just with his wife in the spa, having a great time, having a few drinks, and all of a sudden he gets this crushing chest pain. You understand that you're having a massive heart attack.
I can't not see him again.
There's a good chance that he could die on the way to hospital today.
This can't be real.
Can our heroes
blood pressure dropping, heart rate was dropping,
bring him back from the edge?
This might be the last time you're going to see the love of your life.
New Paramedics, next Wednesday after the block.